What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name is Faizan and I'm here to talk about all things BA, business analyst. That is what I talk about on this channel. So if you appreciate that and you gain some valuable insight, please make sure to subscribe. It really helps me out a lot when you support the channel. So in a previous video, I talked about, what exactly is a business analyst and gave a high-level breakdown. Well, I'm continuing my series here and talking about what exactly does a business analyst do. Now, I explained a little bit, like I said in the previous video, but we're going to kind of review some concepts, but also go into a much more detailed version of that by actually talking about the actual things a business analyst does on a day-to-day basis. So with that being said, let's get started. So a BA can play a lot of roles, but of course there is essentially one central thing that they do perform, which I will obviously get to. But let me just say right here, what I've got for you guys is something called the SDLC, which is the Software Development Lifecycle. Okay, this is the Software Development Lifecycle. I'll probably go in depth more about it in a separate video, but basically all you need to know is throughout this entire cycle, a BA can potentially play a role in all of them. Okay, there's some things obviously where they don't, some things where they do, but essentially they have that ability. But for the most part, getting back to what a BA does, remember, we're going back to our basic relationship here between a company's IT department and the business stakeholders, and the BA being the liaison between them. Okay, the BA translates the business requirements to the IT folks. Okay, so there's a project that comes in to the company where the business stakeholders want to do something. Let's say they want to change the software, they want to change a screen. Those requirements, because they don't know how to talk IT language, okay, these two can't communicate, they will tell the BA, and the BA will elicit those requirements from the business, and then that he will or she will translate into an IT speak so that the IT can understand it. And what are those things called? They are called requirements. Okay, so if the question is, what does a business analyst do? They write requirements. That is their main chore. That is their main task. That is their main thing. The method of how they write these requirements could vary depending on methodology. Again, we can get into a lot of details here, whether it's agile versus waterfall. It would depend on user stories or business requirements documents. The point here is the central thing that they do is write requirements, okay? And these requirements are what the IT folks will need to get the work done, to do their coding. Now, getting back to this SDLC lifecycle that I talked about, a BA, even though they do requirements, this is their central task, this is their main task here, they can play a part in a lot of these different roles. So we'll start here at the beginning. When a project's assigned, you do planning, okay? A BA can be involved in planning. Technically, this is more of a project management thing, etc., but they could. The analysis part, really, that's where it comes in. This is the analysis the BA has to do. They have to meet with the business stakeholders. They have to ask the right questions, elicit the requirements. Okay, you want to change this screen. Tell me where you want to put certain things. Where does this button go? Where does that drop down go? Like, I need to know everything, okay, as the business analyst, so that I can translate that over to IT. Okay, so this analysis part, that's crucial. That is really where the BA comes into play here. And kind of going with that, the design. I mean, once business is figuring out this design, they're going to tell the BA that. So this is a big part as well. So these two things, this is mainly where the BA comes in, okay? And this is the bread and butter, and I would say the meat of where the BA comes into play with the SDLC lifecycle. But then you've got implementation, testing, maintenance. Now there's BAs that could certainly play a part in it. Now this is more of a QA stuff, quality analyst, that they do the testing, UAT, and etc. But for the most part, where the BA comes into play is right here. So there's a lot of hats that a BA can wear, but for the most part, if the question is, what does a business analyst do? They write requirements from talking to the business stakeholders and doing the proper analysis when the design is being done, And then once they write those requirements, depending on whatever method and methodology that is being utilized, they will then translate that and give it over to the IT folks and the developers so that they can code the requirements. So that is what a business analyst does. Hopefully that made sense to you guys and it was simple enough. And hopefully, you understand now what a BA does. So let me know if it helps you guys out. Leave a comment down below if it does. Please make sure to go and subscribe and like this video and give it a big thumbs up if it helped you out. Thank you so much for watching.